Hi, everybody. My name is Max from Ready, Set, Train, and today we're going to talk about a fun, interactive brain game that you can do with your dog that introduces them to the concept of something called shaping. It's called 101 Things to Do with a Box. So you might be asking yourself, what is shaping? What does that word mean? So shaping is using small approximations to reach a goal behavior. So we let the dog understand that their behavior affects outcomes, affects consequences. So when they try new things, we use our marker. So in my case today, I'm going to use my clicker, and we mark when the dog starts to do any behavior related to our end goal. So today, with our 101 Things to Do with the Box, we are just going to teach the dog how to offer behavior, because at first, a lot of dogs are just waiting for you to tell them to do something. If we've taught all their behaviors before this with luring or capturing, they might not realize that they can control the training session themselves. So what we do with 101 Things to Do with the Box is we put a box down and we start to, with a very high rate of reinforcement, reward any behavior that the dog starts to offer in relation to the box. Our end goal would be that they really do interact with it, get in the box, do things like that. But at first, we just want them to start to offer behavior. The key with shaping successfully is a dog that offers a lot of behavior. So the more we practice this, the better the dog gets and understands that them offering behavior leads to good things, the easier your shaping is going to become. Okay. So what we want to do at first is try to capture any initial interaction with the box. So as we put the box down, a lot of dogs might look at it, go over, sniff it. There might be some behavior that they're interested in relation to the box. So we want to get ready. Right when we put it down, if the dog does any kind of interaction with the box, we want to reward them. Offering behavior next to the box is totally fine. We really just want like a flurry of behaviors at first. So the dog offering things is our best bet. They sit next to the box, if they lay down, if they look at you, if they move towards the box, any of that stuff we can capture and reward. We don't want to try to stick with one behavior for too long, but we want to see if they will start to offer things. Look at the box there, that's good. Any kind of interaction with the box we like. What we'll eventually do is we'll wait, or I say we'll ask a question, and see if the dog does a little bit more. They're starting to kind of get that light bulb moment that, hey, the reinforcement actually has something to do with the box, because that's the end goal. It's not just that we're offering behavior, but we're offering behavior in relation to this box here. There we go. We can reset if they don't get it for a little while, anything more than 4 or 5 seconds. I like to reset the dog, and we'll try to do that high rate of reinforcement again. So again, offering behaviors near the box is good. Backing up where she did there. I look at the box. I stare at the thing that I want her to look at. I might move around the box a little bit, and then we can eventually start to place some reinforcement in the box. So if we reward the dog where we want them to go, that can help us out with our goal behavior as well. My box is a little tall, so it might be more helpful if when you do this, you have a very easy box for the dog to get into, but we'll make it work for Ivy here. Wait a little bit, see if they offer a new behavior. My end goal is I would like the dog to get into the box and lay down. That's our goal behavior. We're starting to get her to sit. We're going to just do a couple more reps here, and then we're going to give her a break. For shaping, especially at first, it's really good to do very short sessions, not pushing the dog too long past their point of frustration or confusion. We want them to have a lot of fun. So Ivy didn't offer a behavior for a little bit. I just reset her. And then we'll see if we can get any kind of interaction with that box again. going to do 2 more. Letter X will end on that one. So I'll give her a little jackpot. I pick the box up in between reps so she doesn't interact with it when I'm not ready to reward. We want to make sure that when she's interacting with the box right now, it's always being rewarded. And then I want to try to end the training session with her doing something fun. So some dogs actually find it aversive when you stop training. So you could do like a little treat scatter. You could have a different interactive thing for them to play with. You could go outside, go for a walk, but try to make something positive happen when you stop the training so they're not finding that aversive. And we'll take a break for a minute and then we'll come back again. Okay, so we're going to do another round here. Remember, we just want to do a couple of minutes for a new dog that's brand new to shaping. A minute, 2 minutes max is probably good. I'm kind of bad at remembering, so setting a timer sometimes is a good idea, or setting out a specific set number of treats that you can use. We put the box down. We capture any initial interaction with the box with our marker, and then we reward the dog. I am going to wait at first, and I want Ivy to, again, offer behaviors on her own. That's why at first I don't start with putting the reinforcement in the box or pointing at the box, moving the box, things like that. The end goal with shaping is that the dog is kind of figuring this out on their own. So we're trying to get the dog just to offer behavior. But to avoid a lot of confusion and get the dog to kind of realize we do want them to interact with the box, eventually changing our reinforcement placement can help kickstart the process of the dog actually interacting with the box. We're trying to avoid any kind of frustration, high rate of reinforcement. All that stuff is important. You might say, how do I know if my dog is frustrated? Well, if you just sit there and don't reinforce for a very long period of time, that can be a sign that causes frustration in a lot of dogs. If they start to vocalize, if you see that they kind of like are offering behavior in a frustrated way, if they just start to get checked out, or they are generally less excited about the training process. All of those signs can mean that my dog isn't enjoying this as much as I thought they were, or they're starting to get a little burnt out, a little frustrated. So those would be times when we definitely want to stop what we are doing. Girl, I'm going to reset her. And I will know that Ivy really gets this idea when she just starts to kind of come back and get in the box on her own. When she offers the behavior of getting in the box without me reinforcing her in the box, prompting her to get in the box, doing any of those things, that's when I realize, okay, light bulb moment has happened. She is starting to offer behavior in the box on her own without me really giving her much feedback other than marking when she does the behavior I want. That takes a lot of time. And for dogs that are new to shaping, so Ivy is a dog that really hasn't done any shaping before, that is something that will be an extended process. Wait again, see if she offers anything else. Even a little bit of body shift movement, we can reward that stuff. Remember, our end goal behavior is laying down in the box. We're just going to wait for maybe one more successful rep, and then we're going to give her another break again. And we'll come back and do, oh, good girl. We'll come back and do one more round of this to see if we can get her to figure out getting in the box is a good thing. All right, we'll end there. Good job. Remember, end on something positive. Pick up the box. I'm going to do a little treat scatter for her. Go. And we'll come back in a minute. All right, round 3. Please, Ivy, get in this box. If you beg with your dog, it helps a lot. Okay, so we're gonna do all the same stuff. We're gonna put the box down and we're gonna try to capture initial interaction with the box. So marking right when the dog gets anything in relation to the box. We're gonna see if we can raise our criteria just a little bit. We haven't gotten the light bulb moment yet. So Ivy is happily getting in the box, which is good. And when she gets in the box, she's offering some behaviors in there. But we still haven't quite gotten our goal of her purposely kind of getting in the box on her own. And this can take a lot of time. Don't worry too much If your dog is stuck at a certain step, just ping pong up and down. It's good to have a kind of training plan. So what I'll do sometimes, if I'm being a good trainer, I will write out my end goal. What is it exactly? And then I'll write out all of the steps that I think the dog could take on our way to getting there. It's not a perfect process, but it can help you recognize when we have made it maybe a little bit step closer and to our end goal behavior, and when do we maybe need to raise our criteria a little bit. When is the dog doing pretty well? We don't want to get stuck at a lower criteria for too long. If we do, that can actually hurt the dog because they'll start to think this is what they want me to do. So I was waiting a little bit. I'm going to raise my rate of reinforcement again and see if I can get a little bit more of a flurry of behavior. It's not good to really space out that reinforcement too much. We want the dog to be offering a lot of behavior if possible. So again, I'm going to click for the behavior. I'm going to reward for the body placement. Ask another question. We're going to see if we can get Ivy to eventually lay down. Right now, I'll even just take, if we get to a point where Ivy is like purposely interacting with the box, that's a good starting point too. Moving my body position around, trying to get any kind of interaction with that box. Moving in the box. Good girl. You saw me get a treat, so I don't know if that counts, but all right, get this one. Reset. I'm waiting a little long just to see if we can get some kind of recognition. I'll go back to my high rate of reinforcement again. We're going to do one more around here, and then we'll give them a break. Good. All right, we'll end on that one. Good job, Ivy. We got a little more interaction with the box. So it's a process. Have fun. A lot of dogs take days or weeks to finally get the idea of shaping. But if we make it easy for them, if we make it fun, it's going to be just an enjoyable process for you. And eventually you'll get a dog that really offers a lot of behavior and has a lot of fun practicing the shaping routine. So this is called 101 Things to Do with a Box. We can have fun training our dogs, getting them to offer behavior on their own.